All right, welcome back, y'all. Here to another episode of the Easy Money Sports Podcast. Of course, myself here as always, Sanders here. Got my boy Dupree with me.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Man, happy Monday. Uh, Another season has come to an end, and I think, man, we just got done yesterday witnessing probably one of the better Super Bowls all time. Now at this point, you kind of got to put it up there. It's one of the better Super Bowls for sure, man. But um, of course, a bittersweet ending for
Yeah.
some people, but man, all in all, great game. We all know Kansas City Chiefs came out on top against the Philadelphia Eagles, man, 38-35. Of course, Patrick Mahomes gets his second Super Bowl MVP.
hmm
Just all around, just crazy game from start to finish. Um, a lot of big plays, a lot of fireworks. It was crazy, bro. So like we gonna touch everything into the Super Bowl, man. Just kind of just freestyling it out, but of course, like going into the game, um, once you see what happened, which I guess we'll go ahead and go right into it, address the elephant in the room, man. That 3rd and 9 call or 3rd and 8 call, where James Bradbury got called to hold against Juju Smith-Schuster, which pretty much kind of nullified any chance that the Eagles were going to get. And that was, as they say, was the first uh, defensive call or the holding call all night,
hmm
and it seemed like it just came at a crazy time for it to be called. But what I'm saying, I guess really just kind of figure out like how do you feel about it? Like should have it was it really a hold? Do you think it should have been called? Like how do you feel about it? Like I think we know like that play really didn't like necessarily change the
Yeah.
outcome in a way, but obviously it did nullify the chance of Philly getting the football back.
Yeah. And I think that's what the big issue is. I think that's what everybody more so has an issue with. Um, there have been a lot of people that said that they don't believe that that was a hold. It's tough for me. Uh, if I'm in that position as Juju Smith-Schuster as a receiver, I'm saying that's a hold. He held me. I thought in with them calling holding, it doesn't change the call. If they call pass interference, in my head, I'm thinking, okay, it was uncatchable. There shouldn't be a PI because the ball was uncatchable, but he did hold him. I had more so of a problem of the timing in which the flag was thrown, not so much the call because he did hold him for what it's worth, but it was more so when it was called. And for as great as a game as it was, to have that call ultimately really end the game, you just hate to see a game. You just hate to see it end like that. You hate to see a game end. If that call isn't made, Kansas City is still kicking the field goal. Like you said, the outcome really doesn't change unless Kansas City, the kicker, Harrison Bucker, misses the kick. That's the only way the outcome is really changed. But they're still going to kick a field goal. The difference is Jalen Hurts has a chance to go down the field and tie it, win it, or lose the game because they don't score. So from that standpoint, I'm sitting here and I'm watching it, and that call is made, and in the next play, Jake McKinnon goes around the left and around the left side of the line, and just gives himself up on the 2 yard line. So they're going to wind this thing down and kick a field goal with no time left on the clock. So that's tough. That's a tough way to end the game, especially as good of a game as it was. You hate to see it end like that. I believe it was the right call. I just the timing, the timing of it for me. That's it. If they had called it all game and nothing had been called, like you said, nothing had been called up until that point as far as defensive pass interference or holding and things like that. So for the game to essentially end on a call like that, that was where I had that was my issue. That's why I had a problem with it. But it is what it is, man. I really tried to avoid like shows today, television, social media, because it happened. It is what it is, and even James Bradbury said he held him. Like I don't like wait. There's nothing that we can say or do that's going to change the outcome that the Kansas City Chiefs won the Super Bowl. So, but I think it was more so the timing for me. I think for a lot of people too. I think it was more so the timing than just the call in and of itself.
Yeah, that's how I feel about it too. Excuse me. That's how I feel about it too. Just because I think, like you said, the consensus of the people, probably outside of Eagles fans, which you can kind of understand their gripe about it.
Mm-hmm.
I think everybody else understand it's not really the call being made because, in my opinion, too, I feel like it was a hold. He held him. It's just kind of more so like a little outside of 2 minutes. It's the fourth quarter,
Mm-hmm.
tied ball game. You just hate to see at that point the flag being
Yeah.
thrown. I think this is where it is because to me, like that didn't change the game to me. I feel like other plays were more game changing plays. I mean
Okay.
the Jalen Hurts fumble, the only turnover of the game.
Mm.
The Jalen Hurts fumble that Bolden picked up for a touchdown to tie the game because in that first half the Eagles were rolling
Yeah.
like they couldn't be stopped. You know what I'm saying? So that's a play that's big. The Kadarius Toney punt return that set up that a touchdown for them for the Chiefs to get them into pretty much scoring territory right from the bat.
Yeah.
I thought that was a big play. So I feel like those plays kind of ranked more up higher than did the holding call. Really, to be honest, because like you said, Kansas City, regardless, is kicking that field goal. Now it's just more so. It's just the distance of the field
Yeah.
goal.
Yeah.
If Booker's gonna make it or not, because he did miss one
Yeah.
earlier. So it's just whether he makes it or not, and then if Philly gets the ball back with their timeout or two timeouts that they've had, and we can see, because obviously I think that's where people were kind of just like upset and griping about is just the fact we didn't get a chance to see Philly at least get that chance to maybe tie it or win it, or if they
Mm-hmm.
just would have lost. And I feel like if that would have happened and Philly gets the ball and they drive and don't score, and it's still 38-35 regardless, I don't think nobody's upset because they're
Mm-hmm.
gonna say, okay, they got the chance to drop down and they came up short. Or if they tied up and we go into overtime and now we talking about another overtime game in the Super Bowl for the only second time in history, and we at this point now you're sitting up here debating like, is this the best Super Bowl ever?
Yeah.
Like, because I feel like if we would went to overtime, we'd have been. I would have. That probably would have been number one to me. This has been the best Super Bowl ever. Like because of all the ebbs and flows that happened within it. Um, but ultimately, I feel like the call wasn't the wrong call. It just sucked when it happened.
Yeah.
Like it was a hold. You got to call that, unfortunately,
Mm-hmm.
and it just sucked. But people are just kind of more upset that Philly didn't get that chance to at least tie it up, win it, or if they just would have lost. So I think that's where everybody kind of is feeling on that. But man, that's that. Um, Another thing I want to look at though is, which we talked about on the previous episode, was both were saying, if Kansas City was going to win this game, they had to run the football. 26 attempts for 158 yards. Basically, they got 6 yards of
Yeah.
carry. I think Pacheco got over 70 plus yards
Yeah.
in the touchdown. So we it I mean it kind of hit the nail right on here, which is crazy because in my opinion, I feel like Philly played the type of game that you're supposed to play against the Chiefs. Ball control, keep them off the field, and you get your points, get a lead, and you go from there. I mean, Philly had the ball for they won the time of possession game. I mean, Philly had it for almost 36 minutes,
Yeah.
and the Chiefs only had it for 24. But I mean, man, it's just crazy. But if you want to, kind of chop on it a little bit more, bro, just the run game from Kansas City Chiefs, who they kind of pretty much they struggled with that for most of the season, at least attempting to run the ball. But man, 26 rushing attempts, bro, like just kind of talk about that with the Chiefs, bro, and how they were able to get that done, which I think ultimately helped them stay balanced and Mahomes not being able to get sacked from a defense who had well over 70 plus sacks this past
Yeah,
season. So
yeah. Like you said, I said it. They need to be able to run the ball, and they did. They made a conscious effort, especially in that second half. They definitely made a conscious effort to run the ball. I think they saw that if they were going to be successful on offense, they were going to need to establish some form of running game. And you mentioned it on the last episode that Philly has had problems throughout the year stopping the run. They had some issues stopping the run, and those came back. Those demons kind of came back and reared its ugly head in this game. Isaiah Pacheco runs mean, to say the least. He just runs hard. Like he's just a hard nose. He's not a very, very big guy, but he just runs hard. Like behind his pads. Like when he's hitting people, he's hitting them. Like it looks like they're feeling every. I don't know how much he weighs, but 200 pounds, however much he weighs, like they're feeling
right,
every pound of whatever he's running behind. So, um, they did a good job of establishing that, especially on outside runs. They had a lot of uh, outside runs that were working for them, and then when they were able to hit them up the middle with some inside zone, tight zones, things like that, they were able to get it going. Um, the big thing for me, two things really. Philly controlled the time of possession. Like the second quarter, I don't even know how many plays Kansas City ran in the second quarter. They might have ran 4 or 5 offensive plays in the second quarter alone. Like Philly dominated the second quarter, and outside of that fumble from Jalen Hurts, they wouldn't have had they wouldn't have had any points. They would have been blanked. But I don't know if Philly really tried to run the ball. They had 115 yards, 32 carries, but it just didn't seem like they were really running the football. And maybe it was Miles Sanders wasn't getting a lot of touches. I don't know. I really haven't, to be completely transparent. I haven't watched a whole lot of Eagles games this year until the playoffs have started. So I know Miles Sanders was the bell cow, and obviously you had Gainwell and Boston Scott, and obviously Jalen Hurts doing this thing too. But it just didn't seem like they were, in my opinion, as much as the run game was talked about, it didn't seem like they were running the ball a lot. And maybe it's just because it wasn't as effective. I thought that it would be a little more effective against Kansas City's defense, and it just wasn't. But the big thing for me, man, you said it. There was one sack in this game. There was one sack. And the sack, lo and behold, really wasn't even truly a sack. Jalen Hurts was scrambling and ran out of bounds a yard behind the line of
and
scrimmage
lost
and
yards.
lost a yard.
Yeah,
So boom, a sack. But Philly had 70 plus sacks on the season. And it was like they couldn't even get back there to pressure Patrick Mahomes. And look, they couldn't even like I don't know how many hurries they had or even just hits on the court, like hits on them that they had, but I was expecting them to be flying around getting at Patrick Mahomes last night, and they did not do that at all. They were not able to get back there at all. That surprised me. That surprised me. And then obviously even with Patrick Mahomes getting hurt, injuring re-injuring that ankle again, they still couldn't get to him. He still had like a 30-yard run at one point in the game. So that was more baffling to me, the fact that Philly couldn't generate any type of pass rush. And I think part of it had to do with the effectiveness of the run game. They did a lot of play action um, off of their run game as well. But the lack of pressure from that defensive line, and they didn't change anything. I don't remember them trying to heat them up for real. They really didn't bring any extra blitzes. From what I remember, like they were just trying to get back there with four, which they've been able to do all year. But at this point, when that's not working and you have a guy back there that's hobbled, I know you want to keep as many guys in coverage with it being Patrick Mahomes. But Also, what's helped that defensive backfield is the pressure getting to the quarterback. So maybe you send a linebacker or one of these nickel backs, or say send somebody, send something, because rushing forward wasn't doing it for Philly yesterday. So that was surprising. That was the most surprising thing to me.
Yeah, I'm right there with you with Philly's run game. Like, I mean, yeah, they ran it over 30 sometimes, but damn, I feel like I feel like Jalen Hurts did like damn near 20 quarterback sneaks.
Yeah, like how many?
But that was the thing that killed me. If it, bro, like I swear, every time it was 3rd and 1, 3rd and 2, it was like they ran quarterback sneak, and the Chiefs just could not stop it. I couldn't I couldn't believe. I was getting shocked because I was just like, bro, like are they gonna do a quarterback sneak? I think the only one time when it was 3rd and 1 they didn't run it. They didn't run
They
it. They
did a
kind
little
of faked
pitch,
it and pitched
yeah,
it.
and didn't get
I
it.
don't know if it was to I don't know if that was to Miles Sanders or the Gainwell, but and they didn't get it. So to me, it was kind of like, man, like every time, bro, like it was 3rd and short, it was quarterback sneak. So
Jalen
I mean,
Hurts.
it was
Jalen Hurts had 15 of the 32 carries.
a good
He had
portion of it was
15
just
carries.
2, 3 yards. You know
Gainwell
what I'm
had
saying?
7. Miles Sanders had 7. Boston Scott had 3. So I don't know.
I was because that was something I was wondering too. After a while, I'm like, well, like is Miles Sanders banged up? Like, is it something he ain't feeling, or is just they just not giving him the touches? Because I'm like, I thought that they would try to use him a bit more. Now, granted, they were getting big plays in the passing
Yeah,
game, which is kind of a rare thing for them from time to time. AJ Brown had a big game. I think he had over 70 plus yards with a touchdown. Devonta Smith had 100
yeah.
yards on the night. So Dallas Goddard was
He was
making.
catching everything.
Oh my
He was catching
God, bro!
everything.
Like the one where Jalen threw it off his back foot because he had pressure coming in his face, and it looked like Goddard just kind of like plucked it. Yeah, feel like he just plucked it from the linebacker, even though he wasn't looking, but like he had his hand up, like he
Come
just,
here, I need it.
what I mean. I was like,
I need
bruh,
it.
I'm sitting here with the family, like, dude out here
He
balling,
getting
bruh.
off.
Like
Yeah.
he catching everything. I'm
Hmm.
like, dude is catching everything, bro. I was like, this is wild right here. Dude. They doing that, bro. So I guess maybe that has something to do with it. The fact that they kind of pretty much had like, um, they had the passing game kind of going essentially. So I guess maybe I don't say they didn't need to run the ball as much, but
Hmm.
it was pretty much. I mean, shit. It was the Jalen Hurts show, man.
Yeah.
Like it was him. Like it got showcased for sure. Uh, and one more little thing here on the game, and then we'll go into some other stuff. Uh, man, both of these quarterbacks, bro. Like I know one like has the numbers and one kind of doesn't, but they both played a hell of a game.
Yeah.
Like where now I know I'll admit this. I don't know how you were feeling about him in the beginning of the year, but I know I still had my doubts about Jalen Hurts. Like I know they brought the weapons
Hmm.
in and had everything there. I kind of still have my doubts just because of the last time we had saw them out there against Tampa Bay in that wild card round. It looked awful.
Yeah.
Um, where from the beginning of the season or before the season started to now, where do you have like Jalen Hurts kind of put up in, I guess, your tiers of quarterback? Like how much did he elevate to you? Because I like, let's be real, if we start naming out the quarterbacks who we want, obviously it'll be Mahomes, Burrow,
Hmm.
Allen, Herbert, Lamar.
Yeah.
I think you name those guys before you'll probably get to Jalen Hurts. Where is he in that? I guess I wouldn't. Of course, he's not probably in that top five just yet. But where would you put him at in that next group of tier of quarterbacks that that you'll be like, I'll start my franchise with them.
If he's not in that top 5, if he's not, and I would agree, he's probably not top 5. After yes, I don't think I don't think he's top 10, but I think after last night he's knocking on the door of at least top 10. I think the big thing with Jalen Hurts was it's kind of the same thing as Lamar. They want to see him do it throwing the football. People want to see him having success throwing the football when it matters, especially in the playoffs. Especially in this game, like the big thing, Philly hadn't been down all postseason. Yesterday was the first, and they were only down by a point when they went down the first time, but they hadn't been trailing all year. We had only seen
Right.
them come back one time or have to come back and win a game, and that was against Indianapolis. Outside of that, they were just rolling over everybody. So to see the way he performed, especially throwing the football yesterday, we know he can run the ball. We know he can run the ball. We know how talented he is doing that. But to see what he did throwing the football yesterday, having the mistake that he had, because he had the mistake, he fumbled the ball, and it wasn't a forced fumble. He was trying to switch from his left to his right, ball slipped, and to see how he reacted, and they came right back out, drove down the field, and he scored the touchdown. And be
Again,
like
right.
everybody, calm down. We are good. Um, his performance yesterday definitely can't go unnoticed. If anybody is thinking that he can't throw the football, he can't be um, an elite passer. Um, 27 for 38, 304. He only had the one touchdown, but you throw for 300 yards in the Super Bowl, man. you doing you doing something right. You
Man,
doing something
for
right.
sure.
So he did everything. He did everything for that team yesterday. For it's funny because the roles are kind of reversed, where I don't want to. Philly leaned more on defense and run game, and Kansas City leaned more on Patrick Mahomes in that passing game all season. Where yesterday Philly was leaning on their quarterback, needed to lean on their quarterback because their defense was struggling. The run game really wasn't giving them, those running backs really weren't giving them what they needed. So we're going to lean on our quarterback to get it done. And he got it done versus Kansas City having to rely on that defense, making plays, getting stops. And obviously Patrick Mahomes doing this thing. But if he's not top 10, he's at least right. No, he's knocking on the door. He's 11, 12, somewhere in there. You could probably say there's another five. You named off, I believe, five. You could probably say there's another five. Um, if someone has him in the top 10, I'm not going to dispute or argue that at all. But yesterday, man, he showed a lot. He showed a lot yesterday, and I haven't watched any of the post game stuff. I know a lot of people been talking about his answers post game, about the loss and everything, but I don't think I need to hear it. I'm pretty sure I know exactly what he said, just based off of how people are reacting to it. I can imagine. So um, he showed out. He did his thing yesterday. He did his thing. They didn't lose this game because of him. I'll put it like that. They didn't lose that game because of him yesterday, even with the turnover.
Yeah. But he's a natural born leader. You can see it. Like you can tell. Like he know how to lead. A group of guys to play at the best of their ability for sure. He definitely gained my respect even more last night. I mean, as the season rolled along, it kept increasing because I had doubts for
Mm-hmm.
him in the beginning of the year. I'll admit that, but it increased as the year went on. Now I'm like, I respect him. I respect everything about his game. Not the person. Like I know the person's always
Mm-hmm.
been good. We've seen that since his time in college. So we know that he's the person that Jalen Hurts the person is immaculate. But like seeing Jalen Hurts the quarterback now in the NFL, like the way he's just been progressing, like bro, he's got all of my respect for sure.
Mm-hmm.
And then when you look at it on the other side, bro, I mean, what what more else can we say about Patrick Mahomes, bro? I know people have been kind of saying like he still got a ways to go far as like in his career to where to rank him, but I mean 5 seasons as a starter, 5 division championships, 5 AFC championships. He's won what 3 of them?
Three of them.
You won 3 of them. Been to 3 Super Bowls. Won 2 of them. 2 out of the last 4 years. 2 Super Bowl MVPs. oh, two regular season MVPs, if I'm not mistaken, right? I think he got
Yeah,
two
two.
regular season
Yeah.
MVPs too. Uh, he's been the passing. I think he was the yards leader this season. And led the league in passing touchdowns twice, and he's just 27. That's I don't want to throw them three letters out there, but that resume. That's a hell of a resume for somebody that's only been starting for 5 seasons and been in the league for six. Like, bro, what more else can we say about this man, bro?
Houdini does it again. Houdini does it again. When he tweaked that ankle, I it looked bad. It kind of gave you the same vibes from the Cincinnati game where it was just all right. Well, you got to gut it out. If he didn't come out of that, I believe it was I guess Jacksonville when he heard it, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
He heard it against
yeah, it's a
Jacksonville, and he
Jacksonville
like,
game.
if you're not coming out in the divisional round, I know for sure you're not coming out in the Super Bowl. This thing need to
Oh,
be broke if
yeah,
I'm coming
bro.
up out of this. If I'm coming up
Yeah.
out of this one, so he just and I mean, he didn't even throw for 200 yards, but the plays he was able to make, the throws he was able to make, them having success running the football helped that. He only threw the ball 27 times, but when you're back there and a quarterback is hobbled and he's hurting and he's trying to throw the football, if Kansas City does not have that run game, I don't know if they win yesterday. Just gunning gunning out, having Patrick Mahomes have to throw the ball an extra 20 times. If he had thrown this ball 40 times, I don't know if they win that game because now he is a sitting duck back there. And I know Philly wasn't able to get a whole lot of pressure, but that just makes it that much harder for him. Having that run game definitely helped Patrick Mahomes, and he had a couple scrambles yesterday after in the second half. He had the 26 yarder down the sideline. He had another scramble that got them down into I believe it was inside the 5 where he dropped back, stumbled in the pocket, broke out to the right side, and took it up the sideline down to the 5 yard line. So he even still continued to make plays with his legs after the fact. And obviously, he didn't look 100%, but he was well enough to be able to go and run around. So and do what he did. He finds ways to win games, man. He finds ways to win games. And like you said, I mean, 5 straight divisional championships. You've been to 5 straight AFC championships. All of them have been at home. You've won 3 of them. You've been to 3 Super Bowls. Like, you got to deal with him. If you're going to win the Super Bowl, you got to deal with him. That's really what it comes down to. You got to deal with Patty Mahomes. And I still want to see them go and do it on the road and during the playoffs. I still want to see them go do it just to help solidify because I feel like a lot of the other great quarterbacks have had to go and do it on the road as well. But it, especially for the AFC, I mean, you got to go through Kansas City, and right now the way it's looking, if you want that Lombardi Trophy, you're gonna have to go through Arrowhead. You got to go deal with Patrick Mahomes, and there are not a lot of quarterbacks that you're gonna take head to head with him right now. A lot of them are in his conference, so
Yeah.
so I don't know, man. He's this is gonna be special if he can keep this up for the next, like you say, he's 27, so he could another 10 years of this. You never know, man. You never know. I don't know, man. He's great.
Yeah. Yeah. It was. I mean, it was not funny, but just seeing him like when he got hurt again, it was like, oh man, not again. But I knew. I'm like, man, look. I said it's the Super Bowl. They got that extended halftime. I
That
said,
was,
oh yeah, nah, he gonna. I said, oh nah, he coming back out there, bro. I'm not even worried about that. I was like, now, how effective will he be? I'm
mm-hmm.
not sure, but I'm like, man, he coming back out
Oh
there. He
yeah.
got that extended halftime for the Super Bowl, bro. He gonna be straight. But yeah, it's really not much else you can say superlative wise to to really give to the man, bro. It's just, I mean, the legend is growing right before our eyes for sure. And it's kind of almost like I said on the last episode. It's starting to get to the point now where you may not cannot bet against this man. Like
Yeah.
you, you might have to, what I'm saying, put him in that epsilon upper echelon where you can't bet against him. Like no matter what it is. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
because I know the Chiefs tried to do like this whole. I don't want to call it like a fake underdog, but all the stuff that happened before the season. There was a lot of chirping going
Mm-hmm.
on. All the moves that the teams made in their division, them losing Tyreek Hill.
Yeah.
Like, how were they gonna be able to, keep all this going and everything like that? And then pretty much preseason, everybody was pretty much picking the Buffalo Bills to win the Super Bowl. So I can see where they got the motivation from
Mm-hmm.
for sure to get them together. But I don't know about being on underdogs, but that's neither here nor there. But man, the Super Bowl was fun, bro. And then this year the halftime show was performed by Rihanna. Man, I think it's been a minute since she's performed,
Mm-hmm.
and it's crazy her performing, and it was all like these ain't new songs. These are all old songs because she ain't put an album out in like 6 years, 7 years.
2016, bro.
So I think 2016 was the last. So
2016.
it's been for forever since she's put any like music out. But the fact that I saw a post from Bleacher Report, there were more viewers watching the Super Bowl halftime show than the actual game,
Wow. By
bro.
like
Like
five
that's
million,
just,
five
but
point
yeah,
seven
it was
million.
like not yeah, like it wasn't. That is a lot, bro. The fact that everybody was just tuned in
Oh
like
yeah.
that. Hey, how soon did it take for you to realize, like, damn, she pregnant again?
So, bruh, so what's crazy, bro? So I'm sitting watching the game, watching, and obviously, like, for people that don't know, like, people love Beyonce, and she is like, she great and everything. I'm on the other side. You dig what I'm saying?
Oh, you the
Yeah,
Navy.
yeah,
You
yeah.
the
I'm
Navy.
rocking
Okay,
out. You
okay.
dig what I'm saying? I ain't ashamed to say it. You feel me? Like, so it's like okay. Um, I was on the phone with Jaleel. I'm on the phone, and I'm like, okay, she ain't lost some. I know she had a baby and everything. I'm like, okay, she ain't lost. So she still got a little baby weight on, postpartum, all that. Okay, cool, whatever. So like you said, these all old songs. Like some of them even features that she was on. So it's like, all right, cool. Like, yeah, I ain't heard this one in a minute, that one, yada yada yada. And you just keep looking. It's like, hold on, bro. That ain't just no like that ain't just postpartum weight, man. Like that's a little too. That's a little too this way. Like that's a little too round. You feel me? Like that's a little too round. It's like, nah, I think that looks like she pregnant again, bro. I didn't I don't pay attention to I'm like I'm a fan, but I'm not all into her business. I don't
the
remember
the
when
blogs
yeah,
and
like I
all that
don't
stuff.
remember when
Yeah.
she had the baby and all that type of stuff. I don't really know what they had, a boy or girl, but regardless, I don't remember. Yeah, I just don't remember when she had the baby. So it's like, oh, bro, that was last year when she had the baby. She pregnant again? And kept looking like, nah, bro. Yeah, that's what that is. That ain't no postpartum weight. She preggo again, and then obviously it comes out that this I guess today it came out that like yeah, reports are saying that she is pregnant again with the second child. So um, I'm like, all right, well, congratulations, I guess. You, but it did take a little like, hold on, wait, let me I don't know. Wait, and the halftime
Nah,
show was
nah,
long
for
enough to be like for you to really like zoom in. Like, all right, hold on, let me check on that real quick.
nah, for sure, bro. I was like I was sitting down watching, and I had some of my family over, And my sister was like, damn, is she pregnant? And I was like, I was thinking, I was like, well, nah, she, you know what I'm saying? She did just have her baby. I was like, that could be, you know, I'm thinking the same
Yeah.
thing. And all of a sudden, like, maybe like 5 minutes later into like the performance, as she going on, as they went from the top on down,
Hmm.
and you can kind of see it a little bit better. And it got quiet all of a sudden. And nobody wasn't saying nothing because we was just enjoying the
Yeah,
music and
yeah,
listening to everything, you know what I'm saying, all that. And the next thing I know, I was like, hey, nah, yeah, I think she pregnant.
yeah.
Cause I'm
And she
like,
wasn't
I'm
moving like she
seeing,
doing a dance, but she
yeah,
ain't really
yeah, and
moving.
that's what my sister was saying. She was like, bruh, like, you know, she ain't had no heels on, like she wasn't like, you know, it wasn't no real like far as her, like
Yeah,
no
yeah, yeah.
choreography going, no dancing and moving and everything like that. You know what I'm saying? Like she wasn't just um like performing out there, which to a certain extent, that's to me, I don't pay attention to like her performances all the way like that. But all the other times I kind of seen her perform, I don't see that much from her anyway. So I guess like
Okay.
it wouldn't have swayed me one way from the other. But I was like, damn, that did make sense. Like she wasn't, it wasn't like no, you know, revealing clothes or anything like that. It was just kind of the only thing you could see that was revealing was the now we know the little bumps. So we
Yeah.
just like, man, I don't know, but I'm like, okay, cool. All right, hey, hey, Rocky, you a smart man. That's look, that's all we can say at that point. It's like, all right, man, he did it again, man, bro. You okay? Cool, whatever. All
Yeah.
right, cool. I ain't gonna lie. Some of the songs she did, bro, I
I know
wish we
you.
could have got like a couple of surprise people to come out. You know
Yeah.
what I'm
I
saying?
had
Like
some people saying
when
like,
when work dropped, my nephew was like, bruh, well, she gotta bring out Drake. She gotta bring out Drake. And I was
wow,
just like,
that.
that would be cool, but I was like, nah,
Hmm.
you know, whatever. And then when she did all of the lights, he was like, bruh, she need to bring out Yay. She need to bring out Yay. And
Nah,
I
that
said,
ain't
bruh,
happening.
you know, I said, man, you know damn well Yay ain't coming. He ain't welcome to none of this
Nah,
stuff no
nah,
more, bruh.
not
You know
right
what I'm
now.
saying?
He a little, he too
Not
hot right
right
now. He
now.
too hot.
Man, he too right. He too hot. And then she was singing, and she was singing the hook, bro. You know her part in the song. And she was singing the hook, and the beat kept going. Just natural instinct, bro. I started rapping the first verse.
You had
So as I'm
to.
rapping the
You
first
had
verse,
to.
you feel me? I'm like, so,
Yeah, that's
yeah.
it.
MJ gone. Then I was like, oh, we do need Ye out here, bro.
You had to, cause that's just part like that's just like all of like that's just
Man.
it, bro.
I
That's
was
it.
like, bro, I was
And
like,
then
dang, bro,
like
you right, bro.
she
He
did
do need to be
like she
out
did
here,
run
man.
this town, and Jay-Z is in the building, so
He
I
in the
got
building, so I'm
yeah.
thinking,
Our offensive coordinator, he like, man, why she had JC come? Like he was in the building. Why? Like, hey, bro, like this is just her. Like this is her thing. Like this is her thing. So yeah, there was definitely a couple songs where I was like, I wish I would have heard a little bit more. But I did say, is there if they haven't already, and I'm pretty sure they have, at some point he's gonna have to do one. Jay Z and Drake. At
ooh,
some point they're gonna. I know they probably already asked Drake before. I'm pretty sure they've already asked him. If they were smart, I would have. If I'm Super Bowl, I would have already asked him. But I'm pretty sure they've already asked him. But at some point, he might not do it right now because he's still kind of rolling and doing his thing. But I feel like at some point in time, he's gonna do it. I feel like it's only
man,
right.
that I
It's
ain't gonna
only
lie,
right.
that'll be crazy. I seen some people saying kind of saying maybe try to see if they could get Usher to do a halftime performance.
That wouldn't
I think that'd be
that
pretty
wouldn't be
good too,
bad.
dog.
That wouldn't be bad.
I think he got
He got
a lot of
enough.
songs for
Yeah.
sure that you can play.
Hmm.
You know, both kind of that R&B and pop. Like
Yeah.
he got it all for sure. You can do a little
Yeah.
something.
Yeah.
But
So I
yeah,
think.
bro. I all in all, I enjoyed the halftime show, bro. Like I usually don't depending on who it is, I don't
Hmm.
always pay attention to the halftime shows, but I mean honestly like the last like 4 or 5 years I kinda have just because it's been artists that, you know, we know or that we,
Hmm.
you know, seen, listen to, so it's just kinda like it was cool.
And
Man.
and that's the
And
thing. Like,
it was amazing.
yeah, that's the thing. Like, and I will, I kind of say this. a lot of people like, man, so she got to be dropping an album. She got to be dropping something. Like, what's she gonna do? Play her old stuff? And she did exactly that, and it got off.
Facts. Like literally, like it's going, and I'm like, dang, I ain't heard that song. I mean, next thing I
Like she
know,
doing songs back from
I'm singing the words to it. You know what I'm
first
saying? And
started. Like
yeah,
she like yeah, she doing old songs. Not like once again, 2016 is this is 7 years later. 2016, the last time she dropped the album, and like she's just nope, I'm doing my old stuff, and she's done little features here and there, but like I don't know. Only thing I want to hear that 4 5 seconds from Wildin'. That's the only one.
man,
I want to hear that, but yeah, it was.
man,
I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. So they have got it right these
yeah,
last couple of years. They have gotten it right.
yeah, for sure. They definitely have, man. Uh, what about another thing about the Super Bowl is the commercials. So I feel like they've been lacking these past few years with the commercials, bro. But I'm gonna tell you the one that got me, bro. That damn Tubi commercial messed me up, bro.
It
I'm
messed
telling you,
everybody up.
it messed me up. I'm mid conversation. I don't even know exactly what we was talking about, but I'm mid conversation, bro. And I seen like just the way the screen went with the remote, and I was like, damn, who got the remote? Because I'm like, I just had it last, so I'm like, what, bro? What's going on? I'm like, oh, that's a commercial.
bro,
I'm like,
bro. So like I'm sitting here like I can't move. I'm not moving a whole lot. You feel like I'm just sitting. So I'm stationary. I got my remotes. I got my food, like my water. I'm just sitting here. So I'm sitting watching, and I think I had the remote on my side, and like when my leg might have fell on it. So as it starts going through and change, I'm like, whoa, hold up, bro, hold up, like what's going on? So I start reaching for the remote and everything. I'm looking, then it pops back. I'm like, bro, see, they doing too much. They
tweaking.
got me
I'm
think,
telling
they
you,
got me thinking I'm gonna change the channel. Yeah, they weren't really funny, man. They weren't really funny. They really weren't. To me, like the Pepsi had a couple. Doritos normally has a couple, like the whole triangle thing with Jack Harlow. That was cool.
yeah, that was cool.
But it was a whole lot of movie trailers and stuff. It really wasn't funny. I'll tell you a movie that looks terrible already just off the trailer. That Flash movie, bruh, bruh. That Flash movie looks terrible. The Batman in that movie, bruh. One of my boys from high school, he loves Batman. That Batman, I don't know who that was. He like, oh my gosh, yes, I'm Batman. I'm like, bruh, what? Like what? I don't. That Flash
Man.
movie looks like just based off the Batman alone. That movie looks terrible. So,
Bro, don't even get me started on movie trailers, bro. The fact that they doing this another Fast and Furious, like,
but come on now. I think they have a contract for like 11. So this ain't it. I think they still got one more. This is 10. So they have one more, bro. They have one more, and I still have not seen number 9. I still have to see number 9 with John Cena.
oh, you still watching them?
Hey, bro, I ain't gonna lie. I'm in this deep. I done seen 8. What's 3 more? What's 3 more? I've
Man,
seen
I
8.
guess,
What's 3 more? So I need to watch it. I need to watch this most recent one, number 9. But yeah, that didn't surprise me at all. One every year. So they got this one dropping in May. Go ahead, let's get 11 in 2024, and then we're gonna call it. And we going about your business.
man,
So
for sure. But man, all in all, bro, yeah, the Super Bowl was great. Everything was great about it. Can't wait to see how it's gonna be next year. I
yeah,
think it's in Vegas, if I'm not mistaken, for Super
I
Bowl
think yo
58. I believe
24.
it's in
Yep, I
Vegas.
believe so.
So I think it's Vegas 24 and 25 will be in New Orleans. So
Okay,
it's
okay.
gonna be a lot going on here for that. But we'll get ready to wrap this one up, bro. Of course, we'll end it the same way. Uh, anything you want to say out here to the people?
Nah, that is a sad time of the year because football is over. Football is
Yeah.
over. It's over. It's over. But uh, get ready for more NBA talk. We're about to dive all the way in to the NBA as All Star weekend is around the corner. Obviously, March Madness is coming up here in a couple weeks as well, starting up in March. So a lot more on tap as far as that goes. But my baby
Facts.
is gone. So,
Facts.
but that's it, man. That's it. Just happy to have seen a great game, but regardless of how it ended. That was a great football game. So, you always want that last game to be like that, and we got it. So, thankful for that.
Yeah, for sure, man. Same for me here. Uh, sad that football season is done. But like you said, the NBA talk definitely gonna get revved up as they get closer and closer to their end of the season and the playoffs. And like you said, March Madness, the tournament that's coming. That's really in about 2.5 weeks or so. It's gonna be
Hmm.
getting ready to start up here soon
Hmm.
as they get ready for these conference tournaments and everybody punching their ticket into the tournaments. So that's coming up. Um, and really, football really only get like a quick turnaround before you
Yeah.
know it, it's gonna be time for the draft, man. So that's that too. But just continue to keep listening, supporting to the podcast. Follow the Instagram, follow the Twitter. Uh, get ready for some more posts and everything like that. Uh, that's really all I got as far as like what to say to everybody.
Hmm.
Man, love black women, cherish black women, protect black women. No means no.
No means no.
Valentine's Day is tomorrow. I'm gonna just leave it at that. Valentine's Day is tomorrow. Enjoy it for y'all who who enjoys it. And I'm just leave it at that, man. I'm just leave it at that. I ain't gonna say nothing else. But man, yeah, continue to like and subscribe to the podcast, man. We love it. Continue to follow us on the social medias.
Yeah,
We
yeah,
enjoy
yeah,
it, man, for sure.
yeah.
Until the next time, this has been another episode of the Easy Money Sports Podcast.
Peace.